Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, from a place that's officially been recognized as the loudest venue in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium right here in Kansas City. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here at Arrowhead as their beloved Chiefs took field, and they are set to match up with the Oakland Raiders. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
They'll run on first down. Richard. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Back to throw. Tyler escaping the pressure right. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 point. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. On first down, Richard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack comes from Anthony Hitchens.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Looking to throw. Tyler looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Brown. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Throwing to start the drive, Tyler. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
They're throwing it on first down, but no one was open, so he gets flushed out of the pocket, runs towards the sidelines, gets out of bounds with a good gain and a first down.
They'll run on first down. Richard. Darren Lee there to get him down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On second down now, it's Jacobs looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker.
Don't forget, later tonight, Sunday Night Football, we've got the Pats and the Texans from NRG Stadium in Houston. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, it's supposed to be really cold up in Seattle as we've got the Vikings and the Seahawks from CenturyLink Field at 8:15 Eastern. A gain of 3, second down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there, first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. 15 yards on the play, first down. On first down, Richard, and an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here, and just load up for it and see what happens.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. They were trying to go to Brown once again, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Lucky. You know that's one that he would love to have back. That should...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Mike Evans with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
Ready, 30 base. 50 to Mike. Protein spill. Stop, G. Big stop, let's go. Rush in. Hey, Zoo. Hit it.
On 1st and 10, Tyler over the middle to Evans. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. Looking to throw on second down. Tyler. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Evans once again the intended receiver, and now it's second down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
On the move to his left. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Luke Wilson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Well, he scrambled outside of the pocket, wondered what...
Ready, break. Hey, watch the slant, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Shoot.
They'll run on first down. Richard, absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A throw over the middle taken in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Here we go, here we go.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw again. Tyler toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Evans once again the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
He's airing it out for Williams. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. From the gun on third down, Tyler. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
Kill. Look at me.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
To throw on second down. Tyler out to his left. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Was trying to extend the life of that play, wasn't he? Got out of the pocket, ended up scrambling off to his left, trying to find anyone open downfield to try and make a big-time play.
Thought he had an opening there for a second, but that window closed pretty quickly. They get set. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Frank Clark racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Tyler going for the... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well.
Well, that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Throwing again. Tyler airing this one out for Evans. And this is caught at the 20. 36 yards on the play. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up even more big plays.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they watch this lead shrink a little. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. This is Richard. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. For Brown, that's his 5th catch. So 5 catches over 50 yards. You might as well set your watch to that. He does it every game.
Think about 2013. The only player in NFL history to have at least 5 catches and at least 50 yards in every single game in an NFL season. So that's not just talent. That's durability. That's dependability. That's a guy who really wants to play each and every week.
This quarterback now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. They run it with Jacobs. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Tyler. And he's got Gresham. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. Hey, 50. Travel.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Jalen Richard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And nothing special there. They showed they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. So tried to throw it in. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. On 1st down, Richard. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. 15 yards on the play, first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff. 2nd and 14. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made. There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
If this was boxing, you think maybe they would have thought about stopping this one, because this defense has been bruised, it's been battered. But this is why they keep the fight going, right? They just got done with a really nice play, showing they still got a little bit left, don't they?
Haven't had many plays that they can clip, put in the film room, and smile about, but hey, there's one.
Clip and save.
16 yards, a first down.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line.
Come on, QB, come on. Mike 50, Mike 50. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day on offense.
Let's go.
Throwing on first down. Tyler forced out to his left. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will... And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Luke Wilson, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Come on, set, 8, read. Get that quarterback.
They'll run on first down. Richard. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
That's how we do it.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. On first down, Richard. Richard lost it, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys will take over at the 40. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they've kind of got a situation here. Still 3 timeouts defensively, so maybe you try to run a play.
And if you do it as safe as possible. And I think maybe even quarterback sneak. Take care of the football and make sure that clock starts to run before they call the timeout.
We'll see what they do. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, high 7.
44 to Mike. I'm coming. Fofo to Mike. Mike's Fofo.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
44 to Mike. 44 to Mike. Check.
Hey, Zoo.
Watch the run. 44 to Mike. 44 to Mike.
Check. Get it.
Looking to throw. Tyler eluding the... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Oakland, the playoffs may be out of reach, but the win gets them to 4-8 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, this could hurt in the race for home field advantage as they drop to 10-2 on the year. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Kansas City, so long, everybody.